Hey everybody, and thanks for coming to my channel. This is Mike with Designs by M, and today I am bringing you a stamp set from Anthony's Papercraft, and it is the Presents stack, and this is really a cool stamp. I went ahead and I did two cards. One I did in blues for a birthday card. I stamped Happy Birthday, and the second one I made into a Christmas card using the Merry Christmas stamp. So I really like the way these cards came out. I added some embellishments on them. They were really quick and easy. The majority of this was coloring. I have some new markers that I'm going to show you that I actually really enjoyed. They did a really good job coloring, and I'm really happy the way they came out. So let's go ahead, and while you're watching this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and comment. It really helps me. YouTube distributes my content to more people when they know that people are enjoying it, and the way they know that people are enjoying it is by giving thumbs up and commenting. So please do so as you're watching the video. I really appreciate it. All right, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so here are some of the supplies that I'm going to be using, and if you know from watching some of my prior videos, I have a general idea of what I want to do, but when it comes to actually putting the card together, I do it live with you, and so things change, and so I may add additional products. But like always, all of the links will be in the description box below so that you can check that out. So I have my card base, and I have a set of two of everything because I'm ultimately going to be making two cards. I will show you one variation, but the other card will be done exactly the same way. So I have a card base, a plain white card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have a shadow layer, and they're both the same size. One is in a blue and one is in a reflective silver. These are cut 1/8 of an inch smaller. I'm not the best at math, but that I think comes out to 5 7/16 by 4 3/16. Both of these are the same size. And then lastly, the paper that we're going to actually stamp on is 4 by 5 1/2. Now, the stamp set I'm going to be using today is from Anthony's Papercraft, and it is this awesome Presents stamp. Now, when I first saw it, I thought holiday, but the more I looked at it, the more it doesn't necessarily need to be holiday. These look like snowflakes, but you know what? Altogether, it could be confetti. So I'm kind of cool with that. So I am going to be making a Christmas card as well as a birthday card. All right. And I have my Merry Christmas stamp here and a Happy Birthday stamp here and my Memento ink. My Memento ink, if I say that correctly. And I'm going to be trying something new today. I purchased a set of markers, and I've seen people using these. I've never used these before. They come in an 80 pack, and ta-da! These are markers that are called TouchFive, and there's a fine tip side. Not sure if you guys can see that. And there's a broad tip. So I'm going to go ahead and try these out today. I've not used them before. I just took them out of the package and thought this is a perfect experiment to try them on. So I'm going to go ahead and put away some of the things, clear the decks, and we will get started. All right, so the first thing that I need to do is to stamp this Presents stamp on both of my panels. Again, I'm going to be using my Memento because I believe those markers are alcohol based, and we will find out for sure. I need to pick up my stamp with my stamp positioner and ink it up. I apologize if the camera is bouncing. I will try not to tap as hard when I ink. All right. Let's press that down, see what we get. That's pretty good, actually. I am happy with that. So I'll go ahead and stamp the other one and meet you right back. All right, so I went ahead and I stamped both of my front panels with the Presents stamp. I also, to save some time, went ahead and stamped the sentiment on each of the inside of the card, and I did use the VersaFine. I really like how crisp and dark the VersaFine works, so I stamped the sentiments on the inside using that. So now it is time to move on to the coloring, and I know one of the questions you guys are going to ask is about the markers. So I picked a whole bunch of markers, and again, I am not a color person, expert. I don't even want to use the word expert because I'm far from it. So I had picked a whole bunch of colors, and the colors that are really close together as far as number wise are number 46, which says Vivid Green, number 47, which says Grass Green, and number 56 that says Mint Green. Those were the closest numbers that of the greens, so I thought those would be really good to try to blend, because I know people are going to want to know if these markers blend. I don't know how to blend, but I know watching people on TV or YouTube that they take colors that are similar in the range and they kind of just stack them, I guess, so to speak. I don't know. I'm not a colorer, but I thought I'd give you an example in case you were and you were wondering. So with that being said, let me move on. So I'm going to take the 46 first because that is the lower number. Again, I don't know if I'm doing this wrong or right, but we will color with the 46. And that is really smooth, actually. Did pretty good job. So let's move on to the 47. And we'll color the 47 a little bit on top of the 46. And now let's go to the 56. All right, well, doesn't look like they blended very well. But let's go back over it with this one. This is the 46. Let's go over the whole thing. All right, going over it again, blended it a little bit, but still, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a color expert. I really don't know how to blend, but there you go. All right, now let's move on. So one of the cards I am going to do in Christmas tones and one I'm going to do in birthday. I'm only going to show coloring on one because you guys don't want to see me spend millions of hours coloring, let alone two. So I will start on the one and I will probably end up fast forwarding and or cutting it and then showing you the end result. So for the one card, I am going to use a couple different shades of red and green. And for the birthday card, I am going to use shades of blues. So I got a bunch of shades of blues and a yellow because I thought I would just highlight the little confetti there. And I actually may throw another color in on top of that as well. All right, so let's get started. I think I'm going to start with my deep red for the bows. And I did notice something on here. Let's just show you guys. Is if you use the broad tip and you just hit the tip of it, it gives you a pretty good fine line instead. And if you use the fine tip, it's actually a little bit more thicker than the broad tip, which I found very interesting. So I actually might, in some of these tight areas, be using that broad tip corner on there. But nevertheless, let's get started. And we'll also see if this bleeds through because I don't even know. Like I said, I've never used these markers before. So let's see. So like I said, I want the bows to be red. And I really like these so far because they're going on really smooth. They're very smooth markers. Like I said, I don't know how to blend, so I don't know if I was doing it incorrectly. I don't know if I was using the wrong colors. I don't know. All I know is what I showed you. So this is going on really nicely. I like this. And I did see a tip from a friend of mine who is also on Anthony's papercraft design team. And I'm like trying to do two things at once, color and talk. She gave us a tip where after you've colored something, you can go through and use the same exact marker to give it a little bit of a darker shade. So I'm going to try that on this part right here, because I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit darker at the bottom of these presents. So I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow there. We'll see what happens. Just very subtle, but I think that works. Cool. All right, so I think this will probably be part of the video where I speed things up and then show you the end result. All right, so we are in the home stretch here. Now, I'm telling you this because I have done this many, many times before. Double check to make sure your sentiment matches all of your designs, because I have put these on inadvertently in the past when making multiple cards at once. So, helpful little tip there for me. So this is going to be the way it goes. In case you were wondering, the paper does bleed just a little bit with those markers. I'm using the Nina Classic, I think it's Classic cover. I'll leave a link in the description box below. I really like it. It's not expensive. I got a huge pack on Amazon for fairly a good price, and it makes really good cards. So I went ahead and I added a bunch of foam squares to the back, because I'm going to pop this up onto here like that. But first I'm going to adhere these to the card bases because I believe it would be a lot easier. So using my handy dandy tape gun, we'll go ahead and run some tape around here and see if we can apply this in the center as best as possible. And I am standing up, in case anybody was wondering. That looks good. Good with that. I'm going to take all these off. There's quite a few. I wanted to make sure that the card did not bend or bow once I had it on, and I wanted it to have just a little bit of dimension. So I went ahead and I used all my little foam squares. These are foam squares that I actually got at the Dollar Tree. So, and there's quite a bit in there for $1. They lasted me kind of a long time. I guess I've already taken these off. Let's see. And if you're like me and you can't really see anymore, just feel. I guess I got them all off. That's the good way for me to know if I've gotten them all off. Now double check. Christmas, Christmas, yes, yes. I wanted it to go on the silver. And I cannot even stand over this to see this because my camera's in the way. So I apologize. So I'm going to eyeball this as close as I can. So it may be off, but I'm okay if it's off. There you go. That looks awesome. I'm going to finish it off with a little something something in a minute. So let's do the blue one. And these are cute cards. I love it. Now, like I said, I'm going to add a little something something. For this one, I am going to add some silver and red sequins. And for this one, I have some little tiny confetti that is in the shape of stars. So I'm going to add that to both of these, and I will meet you right back. All right, now here are my finished cards. I went ahead and added the little stars in some of the areas just to give a little bit more sparkle, make it fun. Happy birthday. Again, on this one, I added some of the sequins and the Merry Christmas. And I really like how the light shines off of the silver paper. Really cool card. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the more people that comment and give me a thumbs up, YouTube knows that I'm producing good content, and they help distribute that through the internet like Google and comes up on search results. So it really does help me out when you guys give me a thumbs up and comment. So until next time, bye.